Robozone is presented by First in Michigan, Michigan's premier provider of K-12 robotics programs. Kettering University, think differently, learn differently. Also brought to you by the Ford Steam Experience, inspiring the next generation of problem solvers. Blue Chip Talent, ridiculously good at advancing careers in IT and engineering. Stryker, discover your strengths and follow your passion with us. The Dow Chemical Company, the human element at work. Fanuc America, the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation. Consumers Energy, encouraging your inner genius. Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser, your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. And the DTE Energy Foundation. What's up, Robozone Nation? It is that time of year again, time for another season of First Robotics, and it's time for the 4th season of Robozone, the only high school robotics sports show of its kind in the nation. We're presented by First in Michigan, where everyone has the chance to go pro. I'm your host, Lauren Plant. We are at the nexus of Week 1 competition at the Southfield District at Southfield High School. We'll have coverage of the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals action, including play-by-play breakdown from two of the best in the business, two co-founders of First in Michigan, Dan Kimura of Las Gorillas fame and the Killer Bees leader himself, Jim Zondag. We'll give you a look at what else happened across the state, but first, we are no longer taking flight in Steamworks, but instead harkening back to another era, some would say the greatest era, 80s video games. The 2018 game is called Power Up. Here's how the game is played and how you win, explained by one of our experts.
Power Up is a fast and exciting 3 versus 3 robotics game. The essence of the game is scoring the yellow power cubes, which are milk crates wrapped in a fabric jacket. There are 3 ways to score in Power Up. The first is scoring the cubes on the balance beams. There's 3 balance beams on the field. 2 lower ones are referred to as a switch. The tall one is called a scale. The switch scores only for your team at your end of the field. The scale can be possessed by either team. The score is tabulated in points per second on ownership of these devices. If they're tipped in your color's direction, they will count 1 point per second for your team. The second way to score is to put cubes through the exchange tunnel to the vault. The human players take the cubes, pass through this portal, and put them in a vault behind the player station. Each of these cubes is worth 5 points as put in the vault and can be used to enable power-ups later in the match. The Levitate power-up gives you a free levitation bonus, which is worth 30 points. The Force power-up takes possession of the scale or the switch if you do not own it. The Boost power-up doubles your points for a 10-second period. The third way to score is referred to as challenging the boss, which is climbing on the scale at the end of the match. In the final 30 seconds of the match, teams can climb onto the platform and receive bonuses for climbing. If teams are elevated to 12 inches above the center platform, they score 30 points apiece at the end of the match.
The Robozone Roundup starts at the Gibraltar District held at Carlson High School. The finals pitted the #1 seed versus the 2nd seed. Captained by the always strong Team 1023 from Temperance, Bedford Express, they paired with Heartland's Electro Eagles, Team 3536, and Mason's Tractor Technicians, Team 3655. The #1 alliance swept their way to the district title.
It definitely feels amazing. I know it took a lot of hard work to get where we are, and it feels great when it pays off.
We spent so much time collecting data, watching other teams. We focus a lot. We just spent so much time, and it feels so great to win.
Other awards handed out at Gibraltar. The District Chairman's Award went to Bloomfield Hills, Team 2834 Bionic Blackhawks. The Engineering Inspiration Award to the International Academy's Benzene Bots, Team 4384. And the Industrial Design Award given to Flat Rock's Warbots, Team 6618. Let's swing now to Traverse City at Traverse City Central High School. The #6 alliance of Team 6087 Cybertronic Lancers, 1711 Raptors, and the Rogue Robots Team 5424 pushed the #1 alliance to a 3rd and deciding match for all the marbles. But in the end, and captained by Team 1918 NC Gears, along with Team 2075 Enigma Robots and 5247 Red Devil Robotics, the #1 squeaked out a victory in the deciding match 305 to 301. Some of the awards handed out: the Safety Award went to Raptors Team 1711, the Rookie All-Stars Team 7160, Ludington Obots, and the Entrepreneurship Award given to 5086 Cadillac Connectors. To Flint, for the first of back-to-back weeks, 2 consecutive districts at Kettering University. The top alliances couldn't make it to the championship round. Instead, we had a 5 versus 3 matchup, and you gotta give credit to the 5 seed, who swept their way throughout the playoffs to become champs here. Props to the captain's team, 4994 Kingston's Robocards, along with Adam Bott's team 245 and 6091 Eagle One.
They're like family to me. You know, spending 6 weeks in Build, you know, you might not see a lot of parents a lot because some teams, we're there at Build every day. For weekends, weekdays, we're there all the time, sometimes to even midnight. And we all do it for this. And I have to say, it was worth it, every single moment of it.
The Imagery Award went to Team 5561 Raider Robotics, the Quality Award to More Martians Team 70, and the Creativity Award handed to Team 3535 Galactic Invaders. Full Southfield District playoff highlights coming up a little bit later.
What's up, Robozone Nation? I'm Kiara Hay, and it's time now for First Facts. Did you know FIRST has over $50 million in college scholarship opportunities exclusively for FIRST teams? FIRST in Michigan has the highest number of FIRST robotic teams in the country, with over 500 this season. Nationally, there were over 83,000 participants in FIRST competitions in 2017. And that's it for this week's First Facts. We got semifinals and quarterfinals coming up right here at the Southfield Districts. Robozone will be right back.
DTE Energy is committed to giving back. So DTE employees volunteer thousands of hours, working in over 450 communities, with more than 280 charities across Michigan. Why? Because we don't just deliver energy. We want to empower people in the communities where we live and serve. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
There's some girls here today that never would have thought they would have wanted to be a scientist or a mathematician or engineer. I'm hoping there's girls now who think they might. That's what we're trying to do, is change those minds.
Back again.
You know me.
Pepperoni Asiago. Oh, he's so cute. What's his name?
Pepperoni Asiago.
I just want to eat him up.
Flavor fanatics love us because we make our dough fresh daily and only use 100% real mozzarella. Now get meal deals for any budget.
Hungry?
Howie! Flavor fanatics welcome.
Welcome back to Robozone. Hey, the Alliance selection has taken place, and for the first time this season, it's time for the tournament round of Power Up. We're here at the Southfield District. Let's see what went down in the quarterfinals. The Southfield District is always a great event and has grown to be the premier opening attraction. Always a great blend of teams, both on the less experienced side as well as perennial state and world champion contenders. Team 3538 Robo Jackets out of Auburn Hills had a terrific showing in qualifying and were the #1 seed. They chose Team 33 Killer Bees, who represent both Pontiac and Auburn Hills, and 5467 Robo Tractors from Dearborn. That proved to be a potent #1 alliance. The Tractors looking to pick up their first ever blue banner. In the quarterfinals at Southfield, things went down pretty much as expected, with alliances 1 through 4 easily sweeping their respective brackets. They defeated the lower ranked squads in just 2 rounds each. Team efforts all the way around, and it's always great to get to the semifinals in any district.
So far today, it's been a lot of overcoming problems, challenges that our kids have been doing a good job stepping up and fixing things, coming up with new solutions. Same thing with the new alliance for the tournament. So for years, our kids have preferred to try to kind of manage themselves when they're out on the field and in the queue. So we try to encourage them as best we can, teach them everything they need during the build season and while we're back here in the pit, so that they are in charge of knowing their own rules and working with the other teams, so they manage the strategy on their own.
Definitely crunch time now at the Southfield District. Some robots performing phenomenally, some still a work in progress. One thing we do know, the semifinals start separating the contenders from the pretenders. Setting up the Southfield semifinals, we had the #1 Red Alliance taking on the 4th seed Blue Alliance, captained by Dearborn's Orange Crush, Team 5531, joined by U of D Jesuits Robo Cubs, and Team 835 The Sting out of Beverly Hills, Michigan, that is. The 2nd and 3rd alliances were getting together on the other side of the brackets. The 3 seeds, led by the hot team, number 67 out of the Huron Valley Schools, their Blue Alliance compadres, 4680 out of Detroit Aztec Eagles, and the Bradfield Bot Dogs team, 7218 out of the host city Southfield. They were taking on the 2nd seeds in the red, led by Team 573 Mech Warriors from Bloomfield Hills, repping East China, Michigan, Flurb team, 5843 and 4758 Robo Blazers from Detroit. And it was in this matchup we had some drama. The Hot Team Alliance, number 3, won their first match easily. But in the 2nd game, Team 5843 Flurb on the 2nd Alliance succeeded in taking control of the scale in autonomous and then managed to keep possession almost the entire match, winning 442 over 241, which set a playoff high score. In match 3, the Hot Alliance rallied back, upsetting the 2nd seed with a 327-268 victory, moved on to face the #1 Alliance, who swept the 4 seeds. The finals matchups were set, number 1 versus number 3 for the Southfield District Blue Banner. That coming up on Robozone.
Hey guys, it's Kiera Hay, and we're getting ready for the championship round coming up next here on Robozone. But before that, we'll send you to break with this week's trivia question. In 1961, the first working robot made to work on cars was for what motor company and where? We'll have that answer when Robozone returns. Are you stuck in your job? Getting frustrated playing the waiting game for the next opportunity to advance your career? Let Blue Chip Talent help. As an award-winning talent acquisition company, our specialty is matching candidates with careers in IT and engineering. At Blue Chip Talent, we take a laser-focused approach to reaching your career goals. We have access to jobs you won't find anywhere else to help advance your career faster and easier. Plus, we take care of you. Employees receive industry-leading benefits and competitive perks. Don't waste another minute worrying, because we are ridiculously good at advancing careers.
Kettering University is a jewel among American higher education. We have some of the finest engineering and science and business programs in the country. All of our students spend half of their time in the classroom and also half of their time in the professional practice of their discipline. Connecting those two things is a powerful way to learn a discipline. We're famous for our contributions to the automotive industry, but we do so much more. We have some cutting-edge facilities in biomedicine and biomedical research, in applied physics and acoustics, some of the most amazing chemical engineering laboratories in the Midwest. All of these facilities are accessed and accessible by undergraduates. Virtually all of our students are employed upon graduation, usually 99 to 100% of our students. There's no other institution that prepares students quite as well as we do.
Genius is not born. It's nurtured. It's curious. Genius takes teamwork, patience. It keeps going until that moment when it shines. Introducing the Generation Genius Project, a consumer's energy educational initiative to inspire a passion in science, technology, engineering, and math. Discover the genius in all of us.
Welcome back to Robozone. Here's the answer to this week's trivia question. In 1961, the first working robot joined the assembly line at the General Motors plant in Ewing Township, New Jersey. One of the most anticipated announcements every year is the game reveal. So here's a few of the reactions to this year's Power Up. There are hundreds of game reveals that happen throughout the state of Michigan, but one of the biggest kickoff events is held at Kettering University.
This is probably our 15th kickoff here, and we have 61 teams coming today, and about 700 people are in this building right now, so it's an awesome event, right? I love kickoff day.
This is an awesome game. It's such a cool concept. Our team is really excited to start brainstorming today. We're going to spend the whole day just thinking about different robots we can make, different ways to climb, do all the things that this game has, so we're excited.
I'm a little bit nervous because there's a lot of strategy involved this year, and you really got to read the rules to make sure you're not breaking any of them.
I do like me some video games.
Oh, it's an exciting game. This year's game is so exciting.
It's definitely one of the cooler games I've seen. I mean, this is my 4th year, and it's probably going to be my favorite.
I'm really into like video games and stuff, so seeing that the game was themed around that, it was pretty cool.
The last couple years have all been really good, and this year is a little bit different. We haven't had a game that's kind of like picking up and placing objects in a long time.
The game aspect itself, I don't think will be as difficult, more so how competitive the robots are going to be this year. I mean, you're going to see some pretty crazy robots out there and some very fast cycling times.
Now that the games are officially underway, it's always great to look back and see how far your team has come from concept to completion. For Robozone, I'm Kiera Hay.
All right, so from the game reveal to the finale of the Southfield District, here we go. Team 33 Killer Bees and Hot Team 67 were members of the same alliance last year at the Waterford District, but here in Southfield in 2018 on opposite sides. Finals match 1 saw the number 1 alliance win by a 400-219 margin. Despite having the only consistent dual climber, the number 3 alliance just couldn't keep up with the double team cube scoring power of the number 1s. The Blue Alliance had to find a way.
All right, guys, now we're going to head to the studio where Dan and Jim are going to give us a play-by-play of the last match of the Southfield event.
Okay, so coming up to the end of our Southfield District event, got a couple of familiar faces here in the finals of our Southfield District event. Red jumping out to that pretty commanding 1-0 lead. I think Blue's gonna look to come out and try to take early control of that scale. That scale is really kind of determining our matches here in the finals. So we'll see if they can get a little bit of an edge there.
Finals match 1 in the autonomous mode. Notre Dame Prep and Avondale both scoring for Red. The Hot Team from Milford scoring for Blue.
Yeah, so Red, I think, getting it in a couple seconds faster than Blue. That gives them a small edge here, I think, coming out of autonomous mode. All 6 robots crossing that auto mode line for those 5 points apiece.
Okay, Notre Dame Prep and Cesar Chavez both going up at the same time, both scoring simultaneously. The scale remaining in balance. Here goes the second scoring volley.
What's interesting to note is where the cubes go on the scale has an impact. When 35-38 dropped their cube there, you saw the scale bounce down towards the red side for a second because their cube was on the very end, giving it the maximum leverage.
But the Red Alliance has possession now. 2 more go on, scoring in tandem from Notre Dame Prep and Avondale for Red, taking possession of the scale 1 point per second.
Yep, so it's just counting up now. I mean, both teams have control of their switch, but Red, with that scale control, is just going to start building their lead as time goes on here.
Yeah, Red is getting 2 points per second compared to 1 point per second for Blue with only the switch. 1 drop to the floor by Avondale.
And that's something to watch out for. These things are getting full. It's only week 1, right? It's only week 1 and the scale is already getting full. So how are teams going to find a way around that roadblock?
Yep, and another dropped by Cesar Chavez from Blue. They scramble to pick it back up. Blue still trying to take back possession.
And you can see it actually looks like it's getting close again, right? Because Red with the full scales have been having a little bit of trouble getting more on top of that scale, but Blue is finding some ways to stack higher.
But the Killer Bees drop 1 onto the arm of the scale, getting what looks like a 7th one on top.
Yep. And that one that's on the arm of the scale probably only counts for about half a cube, right? When you take the moments into effect there. So Blue has actually got it tipped back their direction, but very late in the match, only maybe 30 seconds left. It's going to be pretty hard for them to overcome the lead that Red has right now.
Yeah, so teams moving now. The hot team from Milford moving into position to hang, and Killer Bees doing the same, getting ready to hang for the end game.
And we need to look at this 67 robot. So they actually lower a ramp for their partner to drive up. We can see their partner driving up right there. That's Bradford Academy. And 67 is going to go up and carry their partner with them. We have to get both of the team's bumpers above the brick wall before the match ends. And I think we've got 1 hanging for Red, 2 hanging for Blue at the end of the match.
Yeah, that's a 60-point bonus for the Blue Alliance over the 30-point bonus for Red, but looks like Red still has the win.
Yeah, they couldn't overcome the scale deficit. Red picking up a few extra penalty points, and also outscoring them in the vault. A little bit closer contest than finals match 1, but Red's still able to take it in 2.
We were really worried going into playoffs. We had some issues with our drive motors and our joysticks. We were able to work those out in the first few matches, and we were able to hone in the semifinals, and the finals went perfectly with our partners. It was great. We were worried because the whole match was back and forth between the scale, and we were really worried that they'd get it back and stuff. And so with the last second, we saw our partners were going up to put a cube. We went to go climb. We got the climb in, and then we turned around and we were winning. It was great.
It's been the culmination of 7 weeks of blood, sweat, and tears, so it's undescribable.
We've been working towards this for 5 years, so the results of hard work, and it's really satisfying. We've won competitions before, but the Killer Bees actually helped start our team our rookie year in 2014, and they're our nearest neighbors, and we really respect them a lot, so it was cool to get to work with them.
Okay, Dan and Jim here. We're going to take a look at some power-up strategies for our 2018 game. We saw a lot of interesting things week 1. I don't know, Jim, what did you think was kind of the most impactful part of the match?
This weekend showed that you need to take control early. This is a time-based game. It's different than some games we've had in the past, but you get 1 point per second. So scoring a cube at the beginning of the match is worth more than 100 times more than scoring a cube at the end of the match. So early control is the key to victory.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also, once you get that first cube up, right, on the scale, it tilts towards you, so it gives you that much more of an advantage, right? You're able to kind of pile on, score quicker, you don't have to reach as high. And those small advantages can really snowball during the match.
You know, some other things that we didn't talk about is the exchange. In the better matches in the playoffs at all 4 events, we saw teams putting all 9 cubes through the exchange and having a specialist to do that, and most of the winning alliances were demonstrating that.
You cannot understate the value of those 5 points a cube when you're trying to build your score up. Well, how's the game going to progress? I don't know. We'll find out next week.
Every week on Robozone, we're going to be giving up power-up props to some of our favorite teams. And first up is...
Team 4830 at the Lash Robots.
Woo! Now with one of the liveliest bunch of the day.
Team Violet 67 and 5 bots. 1, 2, 3.
And the always stylish... 1481, the Riveters! And that's up for power-up props. We'll be right back.
We have only to look into each other's eyes to see the story of our planet. But if we move a little to the left and consider the notion of adding the human element to the periodic table of the elements, we see the world for the first time. We work the new chemistry, and in turn, we learn the secret to a better life, where chemistry embraces humanity.
FANUC America is the #1 supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation. Our certified automation training prepares students for high-tech careers in advanced manufacturing. Manufacturers use automation to maximize productivity. That's why high-paying careers in advanced automation are in demand today. Our CERT program provides manufacturers and educators a STEM-based curriculum centered on robotics and automation training. Contact FANUC to learn more about our certified automation training programs.
I love working for Stryker.
I'm genuinely excited to come to work every day.
We support each other and look out for each other.
I love Stryker because we are like a family.
At Stryker, I own my career.
There are so many different places Stryker can take me in the next 5 years.
Together, with our
Customers.
we are driven
to make
healthcare better.
Great people with a strong mission and values can accomplish great things together.
We're back with our first rankings of the 2018 season. Saw a lot of strong teams, perennial powerhouses play this week. We got kind of a new rule this year, though. We're going to try to only rank teams that we have seen play the 2018 game. Jim, you want to go through your list first?
Yeah, my top 10. In the #1 position after 1 week of play, I'm picking NC Gears 1918, followed by the Robo Jackets from Avondale 35-38. In third, I have the Killer Bees from Notre Dame Prep. Fourth, I have Bedford Express, followed by Adam Bots, the Hot Team, Electro Eagles, RoboCards, Enigma, and finally Team Lightning, one of our world champions from last year, in my 10th position.
Yep, we got a lot of the same teams on here. I got the order flipped around a little bit. I think 33, 35-38, Notre Dame and Avondale, partners at the Southfield District, playing slightly different games, both very strong. I have 33, just one spot ahead of them at number 2. NC Gears, again, I've got them a few spots down. I've got them at number 5. And I'm seeing 862, one spot up from you, but same teams. The one difference, my number 1 team is still going to be 2767 Strikeforce. I know I said teams that have played this year, but you win a world championship, you get to be number 1 on my list.
Agree.
All right, thanks, fellas. You can find both Dan and Jim's top 25 rankings at our website, RobozoneTV.com. Of course, you have to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our Robozone Show YouTube page. All kinds of extras there you don't want to miss. And also, listen to the Robozone podcast on SoundCloud. For Kiera Hay and the entire Robozone team, congratulations to the Red Alliance. I'm Lauren Plant, and we'll see you next week. Robozone is presented by First in Michigan, Michigan's premier provider of K-12 robotics programs. Kettering University, think differently, learn differently. Also brought to you by the Ford Steam Experience, inspiring the next generation of problem solvers. Blue Chip Talent, ridiculously good at advancing careers in IT and engineering. Stryker, discover your strengths and follow your passion with us. The Dow Chemical Company, the human element at work. Fanuc America, the leading supplier of robots, CNCs, and factory automation. Consumers Energy, encouraging your inner genius. Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser, your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. And the DTE Energy Foundation.